father of Kobe Heisler, who was killed during a mental health crisis. He was a 21-year-old autistic man in Brooklyn Center on August 31st, 2019. It's almost been 2 years. Me and these families today met with the department, with Merrick Garland, Attorney General Merrick Garland's Department of Justice today, because they're in town to conduct a patterns and practice investigation of the Minneapolis police. It's not the first time these police have been investigated. This investigation is over. They have a culture of racism, a culture of excessive force, and a culture of murder. And they kill black people, and they kill people who are disabled. They killed 500 people in the last 20 years, and over 50% of them were disabled. My son was an autistic black man, and I met with these families today, and a lot of it has been covered already, but I want to say, if they're investigating the Minneapolis police, I want to tell you that the culture of excessive force and murder doesn't end at 51st Avenue North or 62nd South. These other cities have more racists on their police force. So I want them to conduct a pattern and practices investigation of all 4 counties. I want them to have independent investigators for all of these families' cases. The BCA and Mike Freeman are in bed with the police, and they're never going to have an independent investigation of their buddies who they need to prosecute criminals. I wish Derek Chauvin would go to jail forever.
Yeah.
And he's such a criminal that he probably would. He will. This ain't the only crime he's committed. He claims Florida residents making $100 grand a year. He's a criminal and a murderer. Sorry about that. And so I want an independent investigator. We come out here every night and people make a lot of call-outs to tell people to come down. Well, I only want to call out one person, and it's my buddy Keith Ellison. He needs to get down here and investigate every time the police kill someone, because we can't trust Mike Freeman, and the BCA just reiterates lies. Right? Open all these cases.
Thank you for hearing from all of our families, the people that support us. Thank you for being here to remind them of the action. We will be continuing on. We will be marching in the streets. The families that have lost loved ones in the hands of police, as well as some of our strong supporters will be marching right after this. And then we also have action this evening at 9 p.m. We will also be marching down in the streets as well.
Okay, Tashira. Yeah, girl. Go, Tashira. Come on. Say it, girl.
I would just like to say that our families are just going so much right now, sitting here watching these people slightly give George Floyd justice and knowing that this is something that we're hoping and pleading for. We're pleading and crying out that hopefully one day our loved ones will be valued enough to receive the same amount of justice. But until then, we will not be quiet, and we will stand up with our lives on the line. We will stand up even when they try to silence us, even when they try to shut us out, even when they try to cover up our murders. We will continue on because we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. I don't have a choice because I have a 15-year-old son named Justin Jr. Kobe Heisler's father doesn't have a choice. Brian Quinones' family doesn't have a choice. And all the rest of these families that are out here do not have a choice but to continue on. So even though we may get scared or afraid or discouraged at times, we don't have a choice but to keep fighting. Even though we may not even be close to having a trial, we don't have a choice but to keep fighting, because there is a life that deserves to live and did not deserve to die like that. None of them. And we will be fighting that these officers be held accountable just like Derek Chauvin. We have a duty to fight for our freedom. We have a duty to fight for our freedom. We have a duty to win. We have a duty to win. We must love and support one another. We must love and support one another. We have nothing to lose but our chains. We have nothing to lose but our chains. We have a duty to fight for our freedom. We have a duty to fight for our freedom. We have a duty to win. We have a duty to win. We must love and support one another. We must love and support one another. We have nothing to lose but our chains. 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 All power to the people. All power to the people. Thank you. We got the crumbs that they always give us, you know, with the sentencing, but this officer did get put away. Now we got many more officers that need to be put away, because like I said earlier, we know that George Floyd was the face of hundreds of murders here in the state of Minnesota, but we also know that just like George Floyd was the face of hundreds of murders, Derek Chauvin is the face of hundreds of killer cops here in the state of Minnesota that are still roaming in our community and serving on our forces. We want the same amount of justice we deserve. Our families deserve the same amount of justice as George Floyd and anyone else. And we will not be quiet until we receive that. Thank you.
I know all the press is going to join us for the march too, so we'll see you on the streets. You keep acting like we ain't cousins. I swear to goodness.
All right, so that wraps the press conference.